Hi folks, Chuck here again, and I've got 5 more horror movies that I absolutely love, but that I don't see discussed very much online, and hopefully this will introduce them to a few more people out there. So the first one here is the Stepford Wives. Now I know everyone kind of knows what Stepford Wives kind of means. The title has become a sort of a pop culture sort of topic, and something that people say to describe a certain situation. The original novel is a terrifying piece of work written in the 70s. And this is the film version, which is, I think, almost as good as the book. For those of you who haven't seen the video that I may or may not have already dropped regarding the Stepford Wives by R11, the book, the movie version, it's basically about a young modern couple who move to a secluded, seemingly idyllic community. They very quickly realise that the woman of the couple very quickly realises that all the other wives and girlfriends are they're all man pleasers, and they're perfect in every way, not just in the way they look, but in the way they behave, and they're always there to kind of service their husbands on every conceivable level. That's all they seem to exist for. And she comes to the realization that that's because the original wives and girlfriends and partners have all been and replaced with robots, which is a horrific idea in and of itself, and it feeds into that kind of body snatcher vibe. But honestly, nothing prepares you for how nasty both the book and the film are, in that it gets into some really, really deep observations of male toxicity and misogyny and sexism, and everything in between. And aside from that, it's basically about, unaliving people in order to get the partner that you, as we'd call them probably incels nowadays, feel you deserve. And yeah, it's absolutely horrific. An amazing watch. It's quite hard to get, I find. It's hard to find anywhere. The more recent version, the comedy version with Bette Midler and what's her face? Should remember that, she's an Australian actress. Does not rate for me. The original horror offerings, absolutely brilliant. If you can track it down, give it a watch. It'll hopefully leave you very unsettled. Significant Other. I hadn't heard of this either until a couple of years ago when someone recommended it to me. And it's basically an alien invasion sci-fi horror. There's body snatching, there's body horror. There's also and this is where I really do enjoy any film that is not just about what it seems to be about on the surface, that there's something a little bit deeper to it, such as the Stepford Wives, which is, not just about murderous robots, it's about, or killing people to replace them with robots. It's about misogyny and sexism and what have you. This is about toxic masculinity through and through. It's very scary in places. There's a body snatcher element to it. It's got a little bit of gore in it as well. And it's also got a pre-apocalyptic feel as you get towards the end. Very stylish, very well done. I genuinely can't understand why it hasn't gotten more love, but there it is. If you can track it down, give it a watch. Let me know what you think. There Are Monsters. Now, I'm a sucker for a good found footage film. And it's one of those subgenres that can be either really, really hit or really, really miss. When it's done well, found footage, it's amazing. It's terrifying. It's unsettling. When it's done badly, it's just a bit naff. This is amazing. It's a Canadian production from, I think, early in the 2010s, that just started to get a bit of notice online. Very hard to get hold of. I had to kind of really scrape around to try and find this physical copy, and I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I think maybe you can download it on YouTube. I could be mistaken about that, but it's basically about a group of young people who are shooting a documentary about educational systems and family health and things like that, who go to a small town don't they always? And start to observe some of the people that they're filming, the children in particular, behaving really weirdly. And then they start to notice the same sort of behavior in adults, and they realize that the town is ground zero for a very nasty, insidious, we think, alien invasion. And we don't know for sure that's what it is, but all the signs are there. It's one of those, and that's part of the horror, that nothing's ever fully explained. Which, again, I don't feel full explanations are needed in horror. Sometimes that elevates stuff. If you don't know, that can be as frightening as knowing. The special effects are really used sparingly and to really good effect. Most of the creepiness and the frightening stuff comes through just from the performances of the cast, particularly those who are playing people who are no longer people, which, as I've mentioned in many, many TikToks up to this point, is something that really gets to me. There Are Monsters. Check it out. Absolutely amazing film. Sweet River. This is a film that I don't think ever seen mentioned online, and I don't understand why. I'm pretty sure I caught it either on YouTube or on a streaming service somewhere, and it's terrific. It's a really, really thoroughly frightening and sad ghost story about a woman who returns to her hometown where her child went missing sometime before and was never found, and discovers that there is a community of ghosts there, essentially, because there's all kinds of dark secrets below the surface and what have you. This has got all the little hallmarks of a really good horror film. There's secrets, there's family drama, there's town drama, there's haunted areas of the town. It's very, very sad, and also very, very unsettling in the best possible way. And again, this is one that I think more people should know about and watch, because I just found it absolutely, utterly affecting and a really, really good watch. And finally, They, which I think I'm right in saying came out in the 90s. And again, I've never seen mentioned online. It's almost impossible to find anywhere, but well worth watching. It's about a college student who's doing a psychology paper, I think it is, and comes into contact with some people her age who had an event similar to one that traumatized her as a child, which was being, to her mind, dragged under the bed by the thing under the bed, which of course at the time was kind of shrugged off by parents and adults and what have you. She discovers that it's a real thing, and the reason it's come back into her life now is because when these entities drag you under their bed, they leave you with something. They essentially tag you, and then come back eventually, able to find you anywhere they want to. It's a supernatural take on the kind of the alien implant idea. Very, very well done. Very bleak, very frightening, very nihilistic. I rewatched it recently for the first time in probably a good 30 years, maybe longer, and absolutely loved it. Felt every twinge as much as I did when I first watched it. Well worth a look. So that's it for this time around. Questions, queries, concerns. Have you seen any of these? What did you think? Are there any others that you feel, horror movies that you feel just don't get any love at all online, that you think more people really, 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 really should know about? Let me know what they are. If they're in my collection, or, if they're ones I can track down and watch. I'd love to know about them. I might even, mention them in a video, and, we'll spread the love a little together. Please tell me all about it, and we'll do it again soon.